This video is part 2 of a 10-part series. Part 3 will be released tomorrow, and you can watch part 1, the introduction to this series, from yesterday. Genuinely, literally living in a box. I am on a mission, the magical mystery bucket of wonder. From this bucket, we will pull out at random the puzzle to talk about. Ah yes, the beautiful, all reliable MOU RS3M. Alright, now moving on. Give that another shake. Hopefully the next one I pull out of here isn't in pieces by now. Wow. That feels like another 3x3, but there should only be one in here. Never mind, it's the mirror blocks, which is technically a 3x3, a 3x3 shape mod in fact. Ah yes, the mirror blocks. One of the OG 3x3 shape mods, also known as the mirror cube, the bump cube, whatever you want to call it. Now this puzzle is great because it's a awesome kind of first introduction to shape mods. To someone completely new to shape mods, you're going to look at this thing and say, why are all the sides the same color? And then you're going to say, why and how are all the pieces different shapes? But it's not too complicated. All it is a 3x3, except instead of solving by color, you solve by shape. So this is the solved state of the mirror blocks, and this is the scrambled state right here. Now be not afraid, it may look like a absolute monolithic mess right here, but it's really not too bad. Solving the first two layers is just a matter of trial and error, figuring out what pieces fit into where they need to go, and which ones don't. You can see these first two layers look like they're just about solved, except for this little piece right here. All these pieces are slightly different shapes, and we gotta find which one fits here. Let's see, that one looks close enough. Just shove that in there, it'll turn, and there we go, first two layers. Now, the last layer, it's probably the trickiest part in my opinion, and this here doesn't even matter too much whether you're using a beginner's method or CFOP or something more advanced. The last layer is going to be pretty tricky either way, especially when doing PLL here. It could be tricky to realize that this case right here is the same as this one, or that this case is the same as this one. And then if you're finally able to finish and get this back into cubic form, then you might run into a problem like that. Now what's going on here, since these stickers have a nice brushed metallic sheen to them, the centerpieces can turn 90 degrees either which way and jack things up so it doesn't quite look solved. Now as we get into some of these tougher, more strange puzzles, I'm not going to give any spoilers, give away how to solve anything. I'm just going to let you know for this, there's a few ways to do it. I encourage you to figure it out yourself. For me, I just use one of the PLL algorithms I'm very familiar with until it gets back into place and knocks another one out of place. Shoot. And these cubes, by the way, that have these centerpieces that need to be rotated in order to be solved are called super cubes. Just an FYI, we'll get into maybe a few more of these later on. So anyways, so this specifically is the Shengshao mirror cube, but the cheapest mirror cube you can purchase that has these same stickers that give you the super cube challenge is the Qiyi for just $6.99. Actually, the cheapest is the Yushin at $5.99, but there's been some reported quality issues with that one. There's also one under the MFJS brand, which seems decent. You pick whatever brand you're loyal to. I'm not sponsored here. And for that price, you get a fantastic puzzle, not too tough of a shape mod, nice introduction to this kind of puzzle. And a cool fun fact about the mirror blocks is it can be solved blindfolded, even if you don't know how to solve a cube blindfolded, because you can just kind of feel out the shape with your fingers and whatnot until it's all done. So, a couple different challenges for just a few bucks. So, plopping the mirror blocks into our completely scientific ranking system here, we're going to give the quality a score of 7. Stability is great and it feels nice and sturdy. The turning could be a little smoother and corner cutting could definitely be better, at least for the ShengShou brand here. I know some of the brands we mentioned here have been noted as having better turning and corner cutting, more like a legit speed cube, but even the ShengShou here is not bad at all. For value, we're going to give it a score of 8. And for difficulty, a score of 5. Again, this is just a 3x3. Your first time solving this might be a little rough figuring out where all the pieces go, but once you get that down, it's not too tough. And honestly, rotating those center pieces is probably going to give you a tougher time than anything. That was the case for me, anyways.